Number 6. Can we really rely on the wisdom of crowds to help solve problems? The answer depends on just how complex the problem is. During most of the industrial age, our challenges have been mechanical problems of a technical nature, so finding solutions requires the special knowledge of individual experts rather than mass input by many people. However, when a problem is so complex that it seems more like a paradox than a puzzle, the solution is more likely to emerge from a combination of contributions. In a case like this, we find that diversity surpasses individual expertise. A group of gamers on the Foldit site proved this in 2011 by solving an extremely difficult problem related to AIDS research in just 10 days. World-class scientists had been puzzled by the same problem for a decade. This shows that there are certain cases in which no single mind is smarter or faster than a group of minds. Number 7. As more and more people move around the world for work or travel, language barriers resulting from cultural differences can present significant challenges. Among these challenges is receiving quality healthcare when the healthcare providers do not speak the same language as the person they are trying to treat. Serious misunderstandings may happen when a patient and doctor cannot communicate properly with each other. When trust is broken between them, patients may become uncooperative with treatments, which can cause improper diagnoses, extended hospitalization, and inaccurate following of instructions. If patients need to take medication after they leave the hospital, not fully understanding the prescription can be very dangerous. This is one scenario in which fatal errors in treatment can occur due to mistranslation by medical staff.
Number 8. In the 16th and 17th centuries, philosophers began to understand an important new principle: the relationship between an abstract mathematical idea and an experimental investigation of a natural phenomenon. It was an act extremely characteristic of that age that Galileo Galilei, a philosopher, dropped the weights from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The purpose of his experiment was to discover whether objects of differing weights would fall from the same height in the same amount of time. According to an assertion of Aristotle that had universally been followed up to that time, the heavier weight would fall more quickly. However, Galileo asserted that they would fall in the same amount of time and proved his point by converting ideas into action. Apparently, Galileo's successful experiment was not the result of a mere lucky guess, but arose from his correct ideas about inertia and mass.
Number 9. There's one generalization we can safely make about emotions. It is harder to read a negative emotion than to read a positive one. This is because most people freely show their positive feelings unless they're trying to hide something, such as happiness at another's misfortune or keeping a poker face. Except for these fairly rare occasions, people are unlikely to conceal them. But darker and colder feelings usually remain invisible to the outside world because people are not receptive to negative emotion. Although we put up with depression, anger, and frustration on the part of family and close friends, we'd rather everybody else just kept those things to themselves. Most people know that such negativity makes others uncomfortable and therefore hide it from others. If you'd like to confirm this for yourself, try this experiment. When a casual acquaintance asks how you're doing, tell him that you're having a terrible day and watch how he reacts.
Number 10. Thomas Kuhn, the author of The Structure of Scientific Revolutions, argues that questioning accepted facts and knowledge leads to scientific advancements. Change begins when scientists notice things that are inconsistent with the existing model. They will initially be cast aside as irrelevant. However, as these unusual events accumulate, some experts will raise questions about the existing paradigm. A revolution often starts with those who develop a rival framework. They put forth a new theory which includes the previously excluded inconsistencies. Of course, it will not be perfect at first, but it will ultimately be advanced by the new theory. It can be even possible for two paradigms to coexist side by side for a while, but the old one disappears as the new one becomes more comprehensive. And then a scientific paradigm shift occurs. The old way of looking at things has not merely been altered, rather, a new fundamental view of the natural world has replaced it.